Most people don't realize this, but Taylor Swift is a billionaire business powerhouse, owning her brand and controlling her deals. And as land investors, we can learn a lot from her. So in this video, I'll show you how taking a Taylor Swift style approach to land flipping can help you find hidden deals, market with confidence, and keep full control of your profits. To start, let me show you what it really means to take control. It's what Taylor did, and it's exactly what you need to do in land investing. So in 2019, Taylor Swift found out that the rights to her first 6 albums, the songs she wrote, sang, and built her career on, had been sold to someone else. No warning, no permission. Most artists would have taken the hit and moved on, but not Taylor. Instead of fighting for what she no longer owned, she made a bold move. She would re-record every album note for note and release them all over again. People thought she was crazy.
Why would anyone listen to the same songs twice?
But Taylor stayed quiet, and when the time was right, she dropped Taylor's version. Then the unexpected happened. Her fans showed up, the charts lit up, and those re-recorded albums, they started outperforming the originals. She topped charts, dominated streams, made headlines, and this time, she owned it all. She didn't just get even, she flipped the whole system in her favor, and that's the kind of thinking it takes to win in land investing. So if Taylor Swift were flipping land, where would she start? Not on Zillow, not scrolling the MLS hoping to beat out 20 other buyers. She'd take matters in her own hands, quietly, strategically, and totally off the radar. She'd begin by reaching out to people no one else was talking to, landowners who aren't actively selling but might be ready to let go for the right price. And her approach? It wouldn't be loud, it wouldn't be spammy, it would feel personal, thoughtful, on brand, because Taylor knows the power of a handwritten note, or in this case, a well-timed letter that lands in the right hands. Then, while everyone else is fighting over the same overpriced listings, she'd be quietly browsing the auctions no one wants to dig through. Not in a courtroom, online. She'd sift through records, find hidden gems, and buy land most investors never even notice. And just when you think she's done, she'd go one step further. She'd turn to social media. Not to scroll, to source. She'd run laser-targeted ads to landowners in specific counties, asking one simple question.
Wanna sell?
And just like that, she's got her own private deal flow, built from scratch with no middlemen, no commissions, and virtually no competition. But here's the thing, finding off-market land is only half the game. You can have a pipeline full of deals, acres stacked in your inventory, but if you can't sell them quickly, what's the point? And that's where Taylor's real genius kicks in, because no one launches like Taylor Swift. She doesn't just drop a product, she builds anticipation, she tells a story, she creates an experience. If she were flipping land, she'd market every property like it was a headline tour, drawing attention, creating urgency, and making people feel like they were getting in on something special. So let's break down how she'd do it. First, she wouldn't just list the land, she'd tell its story. Taylor knows that people don't just buy music, they buy memories, meaning, and a moment they can feel. She'd treat each property the same way.
Not 0.57 acres in Putnam County.
She'd say, a quiet patch of Florida sunshine where your future lake cabin could sit. No neighbors, no noise, just stillness, space, and possibility. Every listing would read like lyrics, short, emotional, and unforgettable. And then she'd build buzz. Taylor doesn't launch an album without a rollout, and she won't list land without one either. She'd tease it, drone shots, local highlights, maybe a coming soon email to her buyers list with a countdown. She'd make buyers feel like if they didn't act fast, they'd miss out. Not because of pressure, but because of excitement. And finally, she'd make it easy to buy. Clear pricing, simple terms, maybe even seller financing option for that everyday buyer who just wants their piece of the dream. Because when you combine great marketing with an easy process, that's when land sells fast and for top dollar. But here's the thing, you can tell the perfect story, you can build all the hype, you can even get the buyer to say I want it. But if you don't control the deal, you're leaving money and power on the table. And Taylor, she doesn't play that game. She knows that real success isn't just about the sale, it's It's about owning every part of the process. So let me show you how she'd structure the deal on her terms. Taylor wouldn't just hand over control just because that's how it's usually done. She'd stay hands-on, smart, and in control every step of the way. She'd start by asking,
Do I really need someone else in the middle of this?
most sellers rely on agents, brokers, and third parties to handle the deal. But Taylor, she'd built her empire by staying close to her audience. She'd connect with buyers directly, building trust, answering questions, and creating a smooth personal experience. That way, she keeps the conversation and the profit in her hands. Then, she'd think bigger. Not everyone can drop tens of thousands of dollars up front, but does that mean they shouldn't own land? Not in Taylor's world. She'd offer flexible payment plans, maybe low down and affordable monthly terms, because she knows how to turn casual fans into loyal repeat buyers. And the paperwork? She'd use simple, no-nonsense contracts that make closing easy and clear for everyone involved. Because in the end, Taylor wouldn't just make a sale, she'd build a system where she owns the deal from start to finish. But here's the thing, if Taylor Swift flips land like a storyteller and branding genius, what would it look like if Elon Musk did it instead? The kind of person who spots opportunity where no one else even looks. So watch this video next to see a totally different approach, more aggressive, more automated, and just a little bit wild.